Welcome to Lawyer Business Advantage. This podcast is dedicated to helping attorneys earn more money, get better clients, and spend more time with family. I'm your host, Alay Yajnik, founder of Law Firm Success Group. Smart business guidance for small law firms begins in 3, 2, 1. It's my pleasure to welcome to Lawyer Business Advantage attorney and owner of Lem Garcia Law, Lem Garcia. Lem, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you, Alay?
I'm doing very well, thank you. At the time of this recording, the fires are going in Los Angeles, and Lem, your firm is based in West Covina. So, you and your family and your employees and your clients are in our thoughts and prayers, and our hearts go out to all the families that are dealing with this.
Thank you for the concern. Yeah, we've been battling it with it, but we're hanging in there. We're doing all right.
Tell us a little bit about your law firm.
Well, it's opened up about a little over 10 years ago, and it started out with just me. Hung a shingle, opened up, and then now there's about 20 people working here, and we only handle personal injury cases, and just we're just here to be a good resource to the community.
Awesome. Congratulations on your success going from, you, team of one now to a team of 20. That's quite a growth. Over what period of time?
So 10 years, it started out just me, and then I think since at first it was at a projection of just doubling the staff almost at each year. So after 1 year it was two, then four, then eight, and then just kind of went from eight to 16 pretty quickly, and then just topping out at about 20 now. And I think we've reached a point where it's if we wanted to grow further, we would really have to start advertising outside of our area. But I'm more focused on making sure that we have the right processes in place to really deliver good service and results to the clients that we have, and growing is not so much of a focus anymore.
I love that when you can, not take your eye off of it, but when the revenue every month, every year isn't as much of a driving factor as doing really good work and building a great reputation in the community and getting clients the justice that they deserve.
Yeah, it's a big shift going from um, not being able to worry about the money every month and then knowing that you're in a good place, and then you can really just focus on delivering great service to the clients versus trying to find new clients. Before it was a lot of focus on the marketing, getting good clients. I mean, of course, the results are always important, but now it's like we're really fine-tuning everything so that we can get every person on the team on board with exactly what we're doing, and seeing the vision, and seeing what the mission is, and making sure that we have everything in place so that people know what they need to do.
And why is that transition and where you are now, why is that so important for you?
I think really just bringing peace of mind um, to myself, knowing that everything is fine, and that we can, my lifestyle. I'm not scrambling all over the place trying to wear different hats all the time. I can leave that to my team. They're doing a great job, and I can, you know, relax and enjoy my family more, and not really just stress out as much as I used to, and not worry about every single detail on all the cases, and just I can trust the team to do what's right, and it's just really brought peace of mind to me and my family. I think just having that, the security that we have systems in place so that things go well.
So that you're not getting those phone calls at, all hours of the day, all days of the week.
Yeah, yeah. I think the first 5 years it was really like I'm answering all the calls, making sure everything, I'm just like a safety net for everything. And now there's multiple layers of safety nets, and I don't have to worry about so many things at once.
That's awesome. So what does a typical week for you look like, these days?
Well, I still come into the office every day. I mean, I'm not working. I think in the first several years, it was I would come in. I would want to work 12-hour days because I really need to grind it out, put in a lot of work to get things going. But now I think I'm able to work less. I'm still always available, but I'm able to work less because there's a team in place to take care of I used to. And now they've been trained, there's systems in place. We've made manuals, guidelines so that everybody's on board on what needs to get done.
Have you, as you've gone through that transition, and that is definitely the entrepreneurial, the business owner journey where you're just working your tail off, grinding, 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 and then you get a team in place, you get some cash flow coming in repeatedly, and then you can start to do things a little bit differently. Have you seen an impact in your family and your health and your relationships as a result of all this?
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. I mean, I have three daughters. One's 10 and one's 7 and one's almost 3 years old. And I've noticed that, my 10-year-old, I had her when I opened the firm. So the first 5 years of her life, I wasn't there as much as I am with the one that's 3 years old now. And I feel like the younger one and the middle one, I have a closer relationship with them than with the firstborn, just because I was there for them much more than with the firstborn. So um, that's fantastic. I'm not like we have a bad relationship. We have a great
No, I
relationship,
totally understand. Yeah,
but it's just different.
it is.
And then I think I'm just being more recently just being available more for for my wife, for my family, my parents and my brothers, just being more present at family events. Um, it helps out tremendously because the first 5 years, I'm like, I can't go to this event, can't go there. Got to work Saturdays, got to work overtime on the weekdays, and now I'm more present and available for all the events that we have.
Love that. Um, So, as part of this idea about implementing new processes and new systems, you have maybe taken a little bit of a different approach, which I'm really excited to hear more about. When I talk to law firms and I ask them, what is it that sets you apart? The first thing most of them say is client service. We're responsive. We answer the phone, we respond to our emails, and so that really separates us from a lot of law firms. And I hate to break it to you, attorney entrepreneurs, if you're listening, but that's like the minimum. Responding to emails and answering your phones is not amazing client service. That's just being in business. But you have a little bit of a different approach, Lem, that you think, I'm curious to hear about your approach and how it's impacted your firm.
Well, from day one, I've made it a point that to always put ourselves in the client's shoes and to see what kind of experience that they're experiencing from top to bottom, from beginning to end. Like, what are they going through, and what could we do to help them um, to the best of our ability? So I know that clients, they want to hear from their attorney. So we always make ourselves available. I've always been available any time of the day. If, maybe not that second, but at some point we can arrange a time to speak. And then also just as far as hiring people, always making sure that we're hiring people that are very compassionate, have empathy for our clients, and just really are there to listen to them, not just as far as how what we can do for the case, but just as a human, like what are they looking for? Like maybe they want to vent, maybe they want to problem solve. We're there to help them out, and just really listen to them. They can tell us their story, and we're there to listen to them and help them out at the best that we can.
I love that because there's that phrase that I'm sure you've heard of. People don't care how much you know unless they know how much you care. And so it really does start with that empathy and that active listening and putting our agendas on hold and just being there for the client because they're going through a really rough period.
Yeah, no, they're going through maybe the worst time of their life right now after an accident. We don't know, people are really hurt. Maybe they lost a loved one, and they're not always just looking for legal help. They're looking for someone to talk to that will listen to them. So we um really listen to them, and we're not rushing anybody off the phone. We're there to talk to them, and whatever it is that they need, we're there for them.
That's really, really cool. And you mentioned you hire for that. Like you actually look for people that have empathy to bring into the firm. How do you do that?
Well, it starts with reading their cover letter and seeing how they come across. It's just somebody that is warm, is compassionate, is friendly, and then having them come in, see if they continue with that. how they are with from everyone from the beginning to end. Like the person calling to set an interview with them, I ask, oh, how were they on the phone? Because if they're not talking to me, maybe sometimes people are just rude to the first person that they speak to, but then when they're getting the interview, that's when they turn it on, right? So we really dive deep into the entire process, like what's our entire interaction with them from start to finish. And then as far as questioning goes, that is something that we're not only looking at the answer, we're looking at how they, their body language, um, their tone of voice, just really everything, to see how just are they going to be someone that our clients want to talk to and someone that are they really listening? Because sometimes people are like you're interviewing them and I feel like they're not really even answering the question. They prepared something and they want to make sure that they say that. Like, are you really listening to what I'm asking you and answering that or not? So we really look for that.
Got it. And how is that different from maybe other law firms that you know of? Not naming any names, but just kind of trying to draw some parallels between how you're different from many other firms that are out there.
Well, it's really hard for me to say what other firms are doing. Um, but I mean, I from other businesses, I see when I'm dealing with customer service, maybe at a doctor's office, especially when I feel like they should be compassionate at that point. It's like, how did this person get at the front? This is the first person that I'm seeing that you're like the face of the business. Why are you not a friendly person to me? I don't know if maybe they just people are hiring, they're just hiring someone that has the qualifications and can do the job, but they're not looking like that interpersonal. Are they going to be a good um, face for the office, like talking to people and being nice to them and just really listening to them and seeing how can they help?
Yeah, I think a lot of that happens because when they're looking to hire somebody, in the job requirements, they have to know certain computer systems and they have to have certain organizational skills and they have to, be able to do all the complex things around intake. And so people, when they're looking to hire, want to hire for those skills. And what they're missing out on is they're hiring when you get those skills, sometimes you don't get the right attitude. And when we talk to our clients about hiring, we're really big on talking about hiring on attitude because for
Yeah.
many of the roles, especially in your intake staff and things like that, it's easy to train. I know if you're bringing on an attorney with a specialized skill set, that's a whole different ballgame. But for rank and file staff, it's easy to train. And if you hire someone that has a phenomenal attitude, it's night and day difference. The whole experience, they ramp up faster, they perform better. The team enjoys having them on board, and clients just love them. Um, and that's not something you can get any other way.
Yeah, attitude. Yeah, you have to have the right attitude. When we have a job post I mean, since I started hiring, I would always put, like, I would put that they have a good attitude, easy to work with, friendly. So these are things that are like, well, I don't know if anyone thinks they're not friendly or has a good attitude, but yeah, we come in and we're looking for that. Someone that ultimately, if there's an issue that we can get along with day to day, are we going to get along with them? Are clients going to get along with them and like, essentially just are you a likable person?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And Lem, you're in a pretty competitive area when it comes to personal injury. Um, why is it that you think clients choose you?
Well, I think it's just kind of everything that I've gone over. Like we're just trying to be a resource to help out and just be a friendly face, a nice voice for people to have their problems listened to. And the the result in the end, if we're a profitable business or not, is just kind of a side effect of that. Because when I started, it was just like, okay, well, I think if we're just helpful to people, like the problem of being a business and needing to make money will take care of itself. And that's kind of just from the beginning, from the first phone call that I took to now, it's just been just be a nice person, help people out, and people from that have um, referred other clients to us, left good remarks for us online, and just kind of goes from there. So it's just been really about um, being a friendly person to clients. Because I have a history, like before I was a lawyer, like with law firms, like, reluctant to call them. They're not known that friendly or nice on the phone. Like, okay, well, I guess they'll just call me when they have an update for me. I don't really want to call them, but yeah, I wanted clients to feel very comfortable calling, and maybe even want to call and say, hey, and how are things going with my case, or just checking in, and they feel very comfortable and open to communicating with us anytime.
Really, really like that. It sounds like you're doing things the right way, Lem, which is really cool. So, given you've done a lot to get to this point, what's next for you and your firm as far as the next big thing?
Well, that's a good question. I think the next thing I've been wanting to do it for years is to have a podcast like yours,
Oh,
to
right
be a
on.
voice for people, to have interesting people come on and provide good content for people, like just a valuable resource for different issues. Then we can talk and just meet more people, have nice conversations with people, and get the information out there. If people want to listen, great.
It is a ton of fun. And the neat thing about being a podcast host is the guest does all the hard work. I mean, you're the one that's doing all the talking. I just get to show up and listen and have a nice chat. So it is a fun way to go about doing things, and providing value for your audience is really cool. Also, Lem, if people want to connect with you, what's the best way for them to do that?
My email is lem@lemgarcialaw.com, and then they could call or text me on my cell phone, 626-252-2168.
Awesome. And as we're wrapping this up, shout out to the sponsor of the podcast, Council CPAs. They're also really friendly folks that are very empathetic and love to listen, and they provide great service for back office. So think bookkeeping, accounts receivables management, and accounting. Um, Lem, there's lots of personal injury firms out there. Do you have any area of specialization or focus that people should know about?
We just handle all personal injury cases, car accidents, pedestrian accidents, trucking, bicycles. If you get hurt because of someone else's negligence, I mean, that's what we do.
Awesome. Well, Lem, thank you so much for being on the podcast. Everyone, that is Lem Garcia with Lem Garcia Law, personal injury, based in Los Angeles and West Covina.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. And that's a wrap for this episode of the Lawyer Business Advantage podcast. One thing that would really help both us and other new potential listeners is for you to rate this show and leave a comment in iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you tune in to listen. And I want to hear from you. So connect with me on LinkedIn and let me know what you think of this episode. And if you are a solo or an owner of a small law firm and you're looking to earn more money, attract better clients, or reduce your stress, we would love to talk with you to see how we can help. Request your free law firm assessment by visiting lawfirmsuccessgroup.com. Again, that URL is lawfirmsuccessgroup.com. We look forward to talking with you soon. Thank you for listening. My name is Alay Yajnik. Until next time, remember, you can seize freedom, you can embrace happiness, you can build your perfect practice.